The crystalline spires of Zethera Prime reflected the binary sunset as Princess Melissa stood at the observation deck, her bioluminescent skin patterns shifting from azure to worried violet. Behind her, diplomatic envoys from 17 star systems waited in the Grand Council chamber, their patience wearing thin. Your Highness, we must begin the treaty negotiations, her chief advisor Thalron urged, his four eyes blinking in synchronized concern, but Melissa's attention remained fixed on the viewport, watching the small human shuttle approach through the atmospheric shield. Jack will be here momentarily. We cannot proceed without Earth's representative. She'd met Jack Harrison 3 standard cycles ago at the Interstellar Summit on Kepler 442b. He was unremarkable by most standards, average height for a human, brown hair, forgettable features, and a tendency to fade into the background of any gathering. While other delegates postured and politicked, Jack had simply observed, offering occasional insights that were sensible but never brilliant. It was his very ordinariness that had charmed her. Their courtship had been quiet, almost apologetic. Jack never demanded attention, never leveraged their relationship for political gain. When they married in a modest ceremony that disappointed her royal handlers, he'd moved into a small suite in the palace's eastern wing, content to tinker with his research while she managed an empire spanning 47 inhabited worlds. The shuttle docked. Minutes later, Jack entered the observation deck, carrying his worn leather satchel, his jacket slightly rumpled, as always. "Sorry I'm late," he said, adjusting his glasses, an affectation, since human ocular correction had been perfected centuries ago. Traffic through the Sagittarius checkpoint was terrible. Melissa's skin patterns softened to affectionate pink. "It's fine, but we must hurry. The Draconians are threatening to walk out." Of course. Jack smiled that mild smile of his and followed her toward the council chamber. The negotiations were contentious. The Draconian hegemony wanted exclusive mining rights to the Omega Nebula. The Andromeda Collective claimed historical precedent. The Centauri Alliance threatened economic sanctions. Melissa mediated with practiced skill, her centuries of diplomatic training evident in every word. Jack sat in the corner, seemingly absorbed in a handheld device, taking notes no one would ever read. It was during the third hour that everything changed. A Draconian commander, General Vex Thor, slammed his clawed appendage on the conference table. "Enough of this human empire's arrogance. Earth contributes nothing to this alliance except demands. Perhaps it's time we reminded humanity of their place in the cosmic order." "That would be unwise," Jack said quietly. Every head turned. In all their meetings, Jack had never spoken unsolicited. Vex Thor's scales rippled with amusement. And what would an insignificant human researcher know of military consequences? Jack looked up from his device, and for the first time, Melissa saw something different in his eyes, a calculation, a depth she'd never noticed before. "I know that 37 minutes ago, your fleet repositioned to attack Vector Gamma 97. I know that you've been embezzling Alliance resources to fund a secret weapon in the Horsehead Nebula. And I know that if you proceed with your planned coup, you'll be dead within 14 hours. The room erupted in chaos. Melissa's skin flashed white with shock. "Impossible," Vex Thor roared. "Those movements are classified at the highest level. That facility doesn't exist on any star chart." Jack finally set down his device. "It exists. It existed. Past tense. My team neutralized it approximately 6 hours ago." He tapped his satchel. "I have the detonation codes right here. We removed the antimatter core. It's currently in a stable orbit around your home world." "Insurance." Melissa grabbed Jack's arm, her touch leaving phosphorescent traces. "What are you talking about? What team?" "You're a xenobotany researcher." "Among other things," Jack said gently. He addressed the council, his voice still carrying that same mild tone, but now everyone listened with absolute attention. "I've been with the Terran Intelligence Directorate for 23 years. Xenobotany is a useful cover. It grants access to most worlds, and people generally ignore botanists." Thalron's membranes fluttered in distress. "Then your marriage to the princess was genuine," Jack interrupted, and for a moment his expression softened as he looked at Melissa. "Completely genuine. I'd actually requested reassignment before I met her. Wanted a quieter life. Then I fell in love, and..." He shrugged. "Well, retirement would have to wait." Melissa's mind raced through 3 years of memories. re-examining every moment through this new lens. Jack's convenient absences during crises. His uncanny ability to predict political maneuvers. That time he'd suggested she avoid the Antares conference, where an assassination attempt later occurred. The Zorinthian ambassador's death last year, she whispered. You said it was food poisoning. It was. I poisoned his food. He was selling Zetheran military secrets to the Void Collective. Jack's expression remained apologetic. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you. My superiors felt. Your superiors? Vexthor interjected. You expect us to believe Earth has been manipulating this alliance. Not manipulating. Stabilizing. Jack pulled a holographic projector from his satchel. Images materialized above the table. Conspiracy networks, weapons shipments, assassination plots. 17 attempted coups in the last 3 years, all prevented. 43 border conflicts de-escalated. 8 genocides averted. Earth contributes very little to your economies or militaries, but we've contributed everything to your continued existence as functioning civilizations. The projections showed operations across known space, some Melissa recognized as historical events whose resolutions had seemed fortunately timed. Others were incidents she'd never heard of, crises solved before they began. Humanity's strength was never in our size or technology, Jack continued. It's in our adaptability, our intelligence networks, our willingness to do what's necessary in the shadows so that civilizations like yours can thrive in the light. He looked directly at Vexthor. Your coup would have triggered a cascade of destabilizations. Within a year, this alliance would have collapsed into war. Within 5 years, billions dead. We couldn't allow that. Melissa felt her world tilting. All this time, I thought I was protecting you, sheltering my innocuous human husband from the complexities of galactic politics. Jack's smile was sad and knowing. I know, and I loved you for it. Still do. He addressed the council. Now, we can continue with productive negotiations, or I can start revealing which of you has been compromised, blackmailed, or bribed. Your choice. The draconian general's scales had gone pale gray. Slowly, he sat down. 3 hours later, treaties were signed that would have taken months to negotiate. As delegates filed out, Melissa and Jack remained alone in the chamber. I don't know who you are anymore, she said finally. Jack reached for her hand. I'm the man who brings you coffee every morning, who laughs at your terrible jokes, who holds you when you can't sleep because you're worried about your people. His grip tightened. I'm also someone who's done terrible things to protect those people. Both are true. Melissa's bioluminescence flickered through a spectrum of emotions. Anger, betrayal, understanding, fear, and beneath it all, love that refused to extinguish. No more secrets, she demanded. I'll tell you everything I'm allowed to tell you. Not good enough. Jack considered this, then nodded slowly. Then I'll retire. Truly this time. No more operations. Just you, me, and actual xenobotany research. Can you do that? Just walk away. For you? Jack smiled. That same mild, unremarkable smile that had first caught her attention. Yes, but you should know, Earth will still be watching. Still stabilizing. You'll just have to find another innocuous human to do it. Melissa pulled him close, her skin settling into a complex pattern of gold and silver. The Zetheran symbol for complicated love. No more humans. One was more than enough. Outside, the binary stars set completely, and the artificial lights of Zethera Prime illuminated an empire that had no idea how close it had come to annihilation, saved by a man whose greatest weapon had always been the assumption that he carried none at all.